Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny video. Now in today's video, finally get around to doing this, I'm going to put up my guide on how to defeat Crota on hard mode. Now I haven't done this up until now just because I've been really busy this week with like a load of other videos, a load of other things as well, but a lot of you guys have been asking this. I've been getting a lot of messages from this, just sort of like saying how did I do this, and also just asking if I can help you run through Crota on hard mode. And yes, I will be helping you guys at some point soon. I've just got a lot of work to kind of sort out at the moment, so once I kind of get that out of the way, then I'll start doing some kind of organised run through the raid. But for the time being, I figured in the meantime, if I put out a guide on how I did it, then hopefully that'll at least help you guys. So what I'm going to do in this video is basically this, what you're seeing right here is my most recent run through of hard mode. So I'm going to talk over pretty much the whole thing. There might be some parts that I cut out if it's like not relevant or it's a little bit boring, but for the most part I'm just going to kind of like walk you through and kind of talk you through everything I'm doing. Also, a massive shout out to the raid team I'm running with, Master SQ, Halo, Miracles, Shaman Xsoft and 269. All those guys are absolute legends, and obviously without them I wouldn't have done hard mode because obviously it's a massive team effort and we all have to kind of like pull it all together. And in fact the actual kind of technique, the strategy we're running with is something that Master SQ was kind of like doing with his team, so credit goes to him for this one. But yeah, shout out to those guys, absolute legends. So this bit should be familiar to you. This, if you've done it on normal or if you've done it on hard, either way, when you stand in the middle, this is the very first part. You basically stand around the crystal, you summon Crota, he closes you in, guys come in on either side, these sort of like, you know, these armies of Thrall and Acolytes and Knights and whatever, and then as soon as the doors drop down you need to kill them. The main difference with this one, the main difference with hard mode, is that there is no chalice this time around, so not only do you not have health regeneration because of the presence of Crota, but you also don't have a chalice to heal you. So unless you have armor items or unless you have like perks through your class to actually heal you, then there's no actual way to get your health back. But anyway, that aside, so once you clear the rooms, you want to get up to a position where, you know, you're both by the door and get your team ready, make sure everyone's got everything they need, they've got the weapons they need, and you want to run out and you want to go straight left, or if you're coming out the other door, you want to go right, and you want to run to this balcony here. The reason you want to be here is because the boomers that are in the top left and in the top right, they cannot shoot you from where you stand. So this is a great place to be because you then don't have to worry about dealing with them, because the main thing you want to also know is in hard mode, if you kill both boomers, a wizard will summon. So you don't really want the wizard to spawn because it's just going to make life like a hell of a lot harder. So ideally, what you want to do is stand up on that middle sort of section, have everyone take down the sword bearer just like you saw there. I'm the sword runner in this case, so have your sword runner run down, get into a position up here, and then at this point, the boomers behind me will start seeing me the second I become visible. So what you then want to do is have one person on boomer watch. The idea is not to kill the boomers. The idea is just to snipe them in the head so that you can make them flinch if they look at me, and that way when you make them flinch, they'll look back at the sniper but they can't shoot them. So the idea is that them standing over on the kind of like the balcony, they're out of the distance of the boomers, but they can keep their attention, and that way they're not going to shoot me. So as you saw there, also as the sword bearer, I'm a hunter, I'm a blade dancer, so typically I went in and I got 3 hits with the sword the first time, all hits with right trigger, so they're all kind of just the downward slam, and then I dropped the sword, used blink strike to go invisible, and then picked the sword back up, the guys downed him again, and then we got 2 downs in each run. So that's one sword, we're back in the room, we're back in the central zone, we're now safe again. Now it's a case of repeating the process. When you're here, you then want to try and sort of heal up as much as you can. So for example, as a hunter, I have a perk whereby, well, because of my Mask of the Third Man, if I pick up orbs, I regenerate health, so that way I can kind of use this to heal. So use this time to kind of use your ammo scene, to kind of like, you know, like get everyone together, make sure everyone's ready, make sure everyone knows what they're doing. What you want to do is stay in here until Crota moves. Crota actually works on clockwork, so from the second you step out the door the very first time, it's 60 seconds until he moves to the right, then another 60 seconds until he moves back to the left, and then another 60 seconds until he moves again. He basically rotates every 60 seconds. So again, as you can see, he's moving now, so we're going to run back out and get back into the same place. So every single time we come out, we go to that balcony because again, we don't need to deal with the knights. As you can see, you do want to be careful when you run out and try and run out in a group, because if you split apart, then as you're running out the door, the boomers will see you and obviously you then have to deal with them there. But again, ideally, you want to try and get down the sword bearer as fast as possible. Do be careful, try and stun lock him, because if he gets behind the pillars, it's going to completely mess up your timing. But again, the guys kind of pulled it all together, got him down really, really fast. You know, the guys that I'm running with, most of the guys have got Galahorns, got some really good primary weapons and everything like that. But again, I jump up here, get into place. My invisibility is just run off, so this is actually a really bad sort of like place. I shouldn't kind of be like this. You can see Crota sort of running towards me and almost got me, which is actually a really, really bad place to be. But anyway, yeah, the guy's down him again, so get my 3rd hits in, drop the sword, stab him with blink strike, go invisible, pick it back up. That one was really, really close. I was kind of like getting a bit worried on that one. But anyway, yeah, down him again, get my 2nd set of hits on, and this is the point where you change. See, in Crota's end raid, or kind of like when you're fighting Crota, whether it's normal or whether it's hard mode, after you've done 2 swords, after you kill 2 sword bearers, the ogres will come out. So ordinarily, when you're doing it on normal mode, you go down to the kind of corridor at the centre and you fight from there. However, when you're doing hard mode, you want to go here. The reason we want to do that is because when we're standing in this room, the first ogre will spawn right down below us. So what we're basically going to do is have everybody look at that door, the one that I'm looking at right now, and we're going to throw everything we've got at him. Well, not rockets, but we're going to throw everything we've got at him, like grenades, you know, like primaries, secondaries, all those things like that, to take him down as fast as possible. As you can see here right now, his life just obliterates. You know, he's going down like super fast, like no trouble at all. In fact, this one's actually a little bit slower. Often we take him down a little bit faster. He doesn't often kind of get a chance to move too much. But anyway, he's down. So as soon as he's down, you then drop down here, run around the side. Ideally have a Titan pop a bubble, so that way we've got a shield, but make sure he pops it on the right hand side, because if you pop it on the left hand side, then the ogre over there will start shooting it all the time, which is a bit messy. But then you want to strafe between here and the pillar to take out the second ogre, and again we've all got snipers, you know, we can keep stun locked in, things like that, so it's not actually too difficult. So then you take him down, and as soon as you do that, you then want to make a run back to the balcony, but only do that once Crota moves. You can see right now at the moment he's on the right hand side, so we want to wait just a second until he moves, and then we want to start moving. Again, do watch out, if that gatekeeper comes out, he's going to be a massive pain, because if anyone dies, the Oversoul gets summoned, and you just really don't want that to happen, because in hard mode, nobody is going to respawn. So you safely get back to the middle kind of balcony, do the same sort of thing again, wait here for the sword bearer to come out. And once he comes out, you want to get him down again. Now, there have been teams that have done this in 2 swords. You know, there have been teams, you know, I've seen videos where people have defeated him without even having to get to ogres. You can do that if you can down Crota 3 times, but it's just like, it's really kind of hard to sort of get it perfectly timed. There's so much kind of like room for error, so if you mess anything up, then it doesn't really work. So what I tend to do is just go for 3 to 3.5 swords. This is actually a 3.5 sword run, and basically what that means is that I'm going to grab the sword from the sword bearer here, and we're actually then going to go and do our next kind of like wave of attacks. And ordinarily, in order to get Crota down, you need to get 9 hits on him. So 9 hits with the right trigger should be enough to take his life bar down. But when I was doing this during the day, there were a lot of times where that wasn't quite sort of, you know, it wasn't quite working out. So at this point, you'll see here, I got the 3 hits in, but his life wasn't quite low enough. So what I actually did at this point was actually run away. And the reason I did that is because if you get Crota's life to, I think it's below about 15%, he automatically goes to enrage mode. Now, had he gone to enrage mode there, his life was a little bit too high for me to kill him with 1 more sword. So I would have got to a point where he was enraged, he had like 1 little slither of health, he would have then killed us, and it would have been game over. So what we actually did was opted to leave it, get out safely, and this is the important thing. Whenever you're doing this, you know, don't take the risks. It's, you know, if you can get to a point where you can get out safely and you can go back in with 1 more sword, and then you kind of like, you know, you've got a guaranteed kill, then it's better to do that than just sort of try and, you know, like try and sort of like get that extra hit in and potentially like lose it to your team. Because basically we're in like a really good point now. At this point, having got those 3 hits on him, and his life is now like extremely low, it now gets to the point where the next sword we have, we'll get 2 runs on that sword, and then the first run will put him in rage, but it will also put his life ridiculously low. And it means our second run will then kill him in about 2 hits. So while this might not be the fastest run, I didn't tell you this was going to be the fastest run, I told you this was going to be like one of the easiest ways to manage it. So in actual fact, what you're better off doing is being a little bit safe. So right now, Crota's on the move again, so we're going to run back out the door, go back to the balcony, and this right here, this is going to be the kill shot. So again, the most important thing at any time, whenever Crota comes back, bear in mind that he's just moved, so it's another 60 seconds before he's going to rotate again. So we're back in the middle, we're back on the balcony, we're now on the lookout for the sword bearer. The second he comes out, we want to make sure we take him down straight away, because if he was to kind of, you know, go and hide behind a pillar or something, then it would mess up the timing and just the whole thing would sort of, you know, just go to pot. So again, guys took it down really fast, so grab the sword, we're going to jump up here, and as I said, this one here, this first attack is going to make him enrage. So the guy's going to down him, I'm going to attack him here. He's going to automatically get enraged, so then I'm going to stand up, I'm going to use Blink Strike, go invisible. He's going to take a little bit more to go down this time, but if you notice, his health is extremely low. So this time now, all he's going to need are another 2 hits, and it's going to be game over. And there you go. That is it. That is how we defeated Crota. Now, apologies if that was a little bit fast. I was trying to work out the best way to bring this to you guys. I thought the best way would actually be to kind of like show you how I did it whilst also talking about it, but I appreciate when you do that, sometimes it's a little bit kind of like fast-paced. So effectively, the kind of like the summary for it is, typically, most teams will defeat Crota in about 3 to 3.5 swords, and the way we did it this time around, we opted for the safer option, so we went for kind of 3.5. But the point is, always just sort of make sure you kind of like monitor his life bar, because if you get him to a point where you take him just below that threshold and he gets enraged, and you haven't quite got enough to kill him, then you're going to be in a bad place and it's going to be a wipe. So you're better off if you get to a point where you mess up slightly, get out, waste the sword, leave the sword, and you can come back in with a slightly later run, but it should then guarantee your success. So that's it for this video. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, then as always, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that like button down below. It does really help us out. And obviously don't forget to subscribe for daily gaming videos and much more Destiny coverage. If you do have any more questions or there's anything else you want to know, then do drop your comments down below and let me know. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.